here in Lancaster, PA. It was a complete and utter clusterfuck. Kind of figured it was going to be. They said it was going to be 6 pieces, 2,400 pounds. Whenever you hear that many pieces in a van like this, you start to be worried that it isn't going to fit. So that was my initial concern. Then I wait for almost an hour before they finally even get to me, dealing with other drivers that were ahead of me, and they said it's 7 pieces, so that was even more so concerning. So I had them show me the 7 pieces, and it was two 42 by 48s by approximately probably 15. So they was able to stack on top of each other, and then two 48 by 24s by 15. Those were able to stack on top of each other. And there was a crate that was about 40 inches high, about, I didn't measure it to be exact, but if I had to guess, 30 inches wide. So that took up, the good portion of the remaining part of the rear end. But fortunately, the 2 half skids that were remaining, I was able to offload off of the skid. There was some totes, so they was able to offload onto the other side of the rear end. And then the last piece was just a light box. It was about, 6 inches, deep. It was about 30 inches long, 12 inches wide. So that was able to go right on top of everything. So it all fit, fortunately. So I was really worried I was going to have to lose my bunk, and I didn't want to do that. It's a close to a 1,000-mile trip. I'm going to Waterloo, Iowa, so I didn't want to have to lose my bunk. So fortunately, I was able to get that done. Now it's time to get my BOL on here, the bill of lading. Whenever we fax or email our BOLs in, our name and our driver number has to be on it, along with the load number. So that's what I'm writing right now. I do it before I take off, that way I know it's already done. Next, grab my little tablet, and me personally, everybody's got their own way, but me personally, 1 page is a week's worth of stuff. I write down my pickup location, which is here in Lancaster, and then I put 2 where it's going, then I put the destination, which is Waterloo, Iowa. Then in parentheses, I'll put the deadhead miles, which on this one was 41. And then the loaded miles, paid miles, I should say, is 977. Then I put who we hauled for, who the customer was with it. And then at the end of each week, I'll total up my mileage, my paid mileage, my deadhead mileage, my expenses for the week as far as fuel. Just began starting to keep track of food and everything. Anything that I spend money while on the road that's connected to the driving, I go ahead and list that and add it up at the end of the week. And then I'll also at the end of the week put my total revenue, and then obviously total expenses, and then you get your total net. So that's just for me, writing it down, keeping track of it, just keeps it more in order for me. I like that. And then it also helps by writing it all down, helps, makes it easier to keep track of it, memory wise. Now, after I've done that, go into our courier exchange app, hit the loaded. Sometime I'll actually show the app when I can and do some, make up numbers. But on the app, you tap the app when you first arrive, and it says on site pickup. You tap that, and then that sends it to dispatch to let them know that we're here. Now, with that being said, we still have to call in and tell them that we're here, just because sometimes the app isn't always reliable. So it's just redundant. But anyhow, then once we're loaded, tap the button again, it says loaded, and it gives you an option to put in your BOL number. So you'll type in your BOL number. And you verify, like it's got on there how many pieces it's supposed to be, which this one was wrong on the pieces and the weight. Pieces was supposed to be 6, this ended up being 7. The weight they had is 2,400, this ended up being 1,316. So I'll put that in. You hit save, that sends it over to dispatch. Now I've got to give him a ring and tell him that I'm loaded, and give him the difference, the information on what the difference is, so he can check with the customer to verify that everything's good to go. Hey Steve, it's Alan. Hey, I'm loaded. Yeah, tell me about it. This was set for 6 pieces at 2,400 pounds. It ends up being 7 pieces at 1,316. Delivery address and everything's all, correct. Do you want to call and check on this before I take off, or are we just good? Okay. All right. So now, thank you. After I gave him all the info, and also when you get your BOL, you want to match the BOL address to the address they send you, because there's a good amount of times that it comes over that the address that dispatch gives you is different than what's on the BOL, which ends up being like a cross-dock or something like that. I mean, sometimes it just ends up being it's an old location that the customer has been dealing with that place for such a long time that they've never updated their new location. But the majority of the time, it's usually because it's a cross-dock. So now I'm going to put the information into my Google Map, and I'm going to... the fucking competition. Yeah. Still continuing my trip to Waterloo, Iowa. Stopped this morning around 5 a.m. Eastern, and when I stopped I had about 4.5 hours to spare, so the plan was to get 3 hours sleep. Turned into 1 hour of very broken sleep. And that's due to my ankle being sore. Gout. I get gout. And gout can be brought on by diet, something in particular that you eat triggers it, or drink in different people. I've noticed mine at times can be caffeine. I'd say that's probably the biggest thing. Too many, like I used to like doing the 5-hour energy shots. I still do them occasionally. But yeah, the energy drinks, stay away from those, because if I do the energy drinks, that's when I seem to have some bouts of it. And with gout, when you're dealing with it, if you're not familiar with it, it's a constant throbbing, uncomfortable pain. And obviously my foot is down there below my heart, not elevated, so it's constantly in pain. And if you're not familiar with gout, it's you get a swelling in the joint, and you also get these crystals. They liken it to like glass shards in your ankle. So to give you an idea what that feels like, why the pain is so bad, all I can do now is swallow as much ibuprofen as possible, which Motrin seems to work well for me. So I'll continue to take the Motrin and see if that'll subside. But that's the update now, and that's what's going on at the moment, and we will take it from there. This is my ankle. That's what it looks like with gout. Okay, I am unloaded. I've got to put the POD into the app. And I also got to email a copy over, which I do with the cam scanner. Got it emailed over, put it into my Courier Exchange app. Now, more redundancy, gotta call dispatch. Hey Steve, it's Alan. Did you get my info? Yeah, Ron. I'm gonna stay right here in the general area for probably just trying to get a couple 3 hours. I mean, I'm ready to go if you get anything, but figure I'll wait here a couple 3 hours and then check in with you then, and if nothing's going on here, then obviously I'll head towards the Chicago area. Alright, bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our trip for the day. I hope everybody enjoyed. Don't forget your grab bags, and I hope this created a lifetime of memories for you. I'm going right back there. I'm going to bed. Don't call, don't text, don't Facebook. Just leave me alone. Okay? Bye. 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 I said, go on now, get.